I do believe that you make a very good point, and we already have a way to solve that. It's called the URS, a universal rating system, the one proposed by Gary, used by the Grand Chess Tour. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's still in use, but I know they were using it for a few years at least. URS combine classical, rapid, and blitz. It used to be kind
Okay,
of a
I'm
laughing
gonna push
matter.
back on the URS
You don't like
too.
the URS. Why is that?
Well, it's like I don't know
But
their
it used to be a
system.
laughing matter, yeah. But nowadays, with rapid and blitz becoming so much more important, it just feels like they were a step ahead of the curve, I guess.
I mean, I understand if you include these, like, but I don't know how they do it. But I'll just tell you some things that you'll be like, what is this? How can this possibly be? Um,
Okay.
like, okay, so Shant Sargsyan, like I'm not going to name players in a way to like to put them down,
Yes.
but Shant Sargsyan is 59 in the world
In URS.
in URS.
Okay.
This this is higher than I'm just like going down the list. This is higher than Jeffrey.
Okay. Okay, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, Jeffrey's
You can see that
2640
how,
nowadays. I mean,
but
Sarkisian
Sargsyan
right now is at
lower
2637 in
like in
classical.
like all his ratings, right? He's a lower in all ratings, or like how did this happen?
I'm not sure, but let's check. Okay.
He's
So
higher than Korobov. He's higher than Wojtaszek. He's he's higher than Jordan.
Sarxian is 26 plus in all three right now: classical, rapid,
So
and blitz.
how is he higher than Jordan, for example?
Let's see. I'll tell you in just a second. Jordan, right now, his rating is classical 2664, rapid 2659, blitz 2606. Okay, he shouldn't be higher than Jordan.
Okay, so tell me, how is Bortnik higher than Ray Robson?
They might be using some. Okay, that's. Yes.
Okay,
You
I'll give you
got me.
some.
Okay, you got me.
How how
First of all,
is
boarding doesn't play
no? I got
over the
some more
board
for you.
chess as much, at least.
How is Sindarov higher than Keimer?
You're
Yeah,
asking good questions.
like Keimer is so low rated according he's 39 in the world. I mean, Keimer is like 2740,
In classical, I would assume he's close to that.
but in this system, he's lower than Sindarov. He's lower than Peter Spiedler. All due respect to Peter, of course, he's a great player, but he is also retired, and he would probably say himself that he's not as strong as Vincent.
I'm not saying the
Um,
URS is perfect. I'm just saying that we need to find something that combines all three disciplines, if you want to put it that way.
sure,
Um,
and as much as I respect Artemi's play, I think he's a fantastic player. I also don't think that he should be ranked number six in the world.
Impressive.
So yeah, there's like a lot of weird things. I don't think this rating system gets it right, if we're being honest. Of course, we can argue about like who's stronger than who all day, but like I didn't. Arjun is like number 15 in the world in this rating system, lower than Dubov. It's like just none of it is consistent or makes sense.
I'll
So
tell you why Artemiev is so high rated. It's because his blitz is 2802, his rapid is 2747, which is huge, and his regular is 2705.
okay, so wait, in Blitz he's number four in the world. In
Yes,
Rapid he's
yes.
number eight in the world, and in Classical he's um uh, number 38, and
Hmm.
this comes out to an average of six.
Well, if you take only the rapid and the blitz, then yes, four
So
and
we're
eight.
we're like weighting it very heavily for Blitz, right?
I think that's how it is actually. I think
Okay, yeah, it
this
just doesn't make
URS
sense.
just weighs rapid and blitz way more than classical, which
I mean,
should be
Classical should be weighted the most. So I've discussed rating systems
agreed. Yeah,
before. Classical should be weighted the most for one reason. Even if we consider Classical, Rapid, and Blitz as just totally separate entities, all equally important, Classical is still the one which is played the most, and therefore you're going to get the most accurate ratings.
agreed.
Then after that, I think Blitz and Rapid are probably played more or less equally. So you could weight those equally if you want. But some people will take rapid more seriously because if we go to like a tiebreak, it always starts with rapid. So like the candidate's tiebreak starts with rapid, and therefore rapid is the one which is going to be more consequential usually. The same way that like Armageddon is not even given a time control, is not even given a separate rating because it's not really played so much, so people don't care too much about your Armageddon results. And so classical should be weighted the most, and maybe rapid after that, and then blitz after that. Because blitz, it's like, of course, we do have ratings which are definitely meaningful, but people don't play a lot, so they may not be ratings that reflect your current strength. Like I haven't played a big blitz tournament since December, so it's been 5 months. So is my rating very accurate of my strength? Maybe, maybe not. Um, I had some like I did have some like random blitz tournaments after that, but not too many. And like we saw Wei, who was under 2,700 in blitz. He played one tournament, he did great, and now he's 27-21. So we can say very likely his rating is underrated because he just doesn't play very much, so it hasn't had chance. And like Ding is number two in the world in rapid. And I would argue very strongly that he's not even close to the second best rapid player in the world because he hasn't played rapid except for 4 games in the last 5 years, the match.
Yeah.
Um, so like, or actually, I think he did play a tournament in China where he lost a bunch of rating, but yeah, his rating is not going to accurately reflect his strength because he doesn't play too much. And this is kind of across the board. You're going to see trends like this.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, for sure. But to kind of combine the points that you've made, and I think they're very salient points, we should be considering rapid and blitz. Now, the question of percentage, how much weight you're going to put on them, that's a completely different question. Classical definitely should be much higher rated than all of these. Probably URS right now is on the right track, but they need to adjust what they're. And to be honest, I don't think they've worked on it too much recently. I think it's kind of a project that has been left. I want to say has left been behind, but I don't want to insult anybody because I don't know who's working on it. But yes, I hope they will revive it, and maybe if they revive it, they fine tune it as well, because I do think that they're on the right track to combine the disciplines. But yeah.
I will actually make one argument that I'm just looking at the classical list in top 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that this top 10, although it could be changed around a bunch, does kind of reflect the best players of the last few years. So it's Magnus at number one
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons.
Yes.
I'm number two, and although I do have like lots of ups and downs, like I think it's fair to put me in the top 10 at least.
Yeah.
Hikaru number three, I also think is like very
Number two is
fair.
very
You
fair.
could maybe switch around a bit, but Hikaru has won numerous tournaments, plus three in the candidates in the last few years. Um, won the Grand Prix, won Norway Chess, won the American Cup, and so on. Jan won two candidates in the last 4 years, but still, Jan at number four, it's like pretty reasonable, fair. Uh, Noterbeck is very hot,
Yes.
so he's number five.
Mm-hmm.
He's very often getting to like the finals or semifinals of these knockout events. He's doing well online. He's doing well over the board. He won two events this year.
He's a player that knows to stay at the top, for sure.
He's one of those players who can play badly but can also play super super well. So he's going to be one of those guys who's always like a contender. Arjun at number six, I think also he like wins a bunch of tournaments. He
Super hot right now. Yes.
Gukesh won the candidates. He's number seven.
And Arjun
Won the
also
candidate.
played quite well in the GCT. So it's not a fluke. It's not something that he's been building in online and open events only. He played.
Well, Arjun is not really an online player. Like he doesn't play much online, but
Yes.
he is very very good over the board for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But not only in open events and not only in classical chess, he's showing that he's very good in rapid and blitz as
well,
well.
he tied for first in Siegemann. He lost the tiebreak to Noterbeck, but yeah, he tied for first in the tournament. Then Gukesh, he won the candidates. He also tied for first in Tata Steel.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of obvious. Ding is actually the player I might not put in the top 10, but he's still the world champion. So, but yeah, like recent results, I would definitely think Ding would be out. Wesley on number nine is like always so consistent. Uh, Even if he's not winning many tournaments, he's always consistently doing pretty well. And Wei Yi at number 10, I actually think you could put him higher because like between Tata Steel winning that rapid tournament in China
Oh yeah.
and almost winning the Grand Chess Tour event,
No way.
I think like he's so hot that I wouldn't be surprised to see him top five at some point. Like he's one of the guys who I would maybe consider a bit more underrated than overrated.
Yes. That
And yeah,
I
there's
completely
like
agree.
other players who have had great success recently, like Levon won American Cup, won WR Masters, and so on. But I think this top 10 is like really decent. Um, and you could change it around a bit, but it's not a fluke. There's no fluke in this classical list, I think.
Agreed.
Except for like I think with all due respect, Vichy never plays and probably I wouldn't put him at number 11 these days.
Sure. But I mean, again, Vishy is semi-retired. Yeah, he plays a few games in the Bundesliga, and
Yeah.
outside of that, not much. Um,
If someone's really inactive, then their rating is probably not accurate, like Vichy and Karakin, although it might also be accurate. It might be that like Vichy starts playing 100 games a year and maybe he even keeps 2750. You just
maybe,
can't speculate on it.
maybe.
But but he's so inactive that I think it's natural to assume he probably would lose if he started to play very actively.
Would you say it's kind of similar to Ding in that regard? Like we don't
I
actually
think
know
it's
where to place Ding.
no, I think Ding we kind of know. Unless like things turn around, then he will just like slowly bleed his rating out because like his level is not indicative of his rating. I mean, if you look at like his last few tournaments, so he needs to find his previous form. Otherwise, I actually expect him to lose more rating. Now, that could change at any time because he's such a classy player, but assuming the trends continue, then he will lose rating,
Yeah,
and Wei Yi will gain rating. That's
yeah,
just I think that like recent trends are actually very, very likely to be helpful in understanding where a person's going. I
yeah,
noticed this in myself. I noticed this in other players. That's why I think like the hot guys, Noterbeck, Arjun, Wei, Gukesh, as well, like they have a very good chance of increasing their rating. And a guy like maybe Ding could have a, I don't know about Ali Reza. That's the thing. Like he's on a severe downward trend, but he could also just like gain it all back very quickly. He's one of those guys, you never know
Ali
about him.
Reza will be back for sure.
Yeah,
I
he'll be
have no
back,
doubt
but
about it.
will he be like 2780 in 2 months? It could be, or will he be 2720 in 2 months? Also could be.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think we're going to see him back in top 10. I don't know 2780, but definitely back in top 10, which is only around 20 rating points from where he is right now. In fact, more like
It's
15
tell you,
rating points.
it's yeah, it's about it's 18 actually, 18
Yeah,
points.
18 rating points to get back in top 10. But yes, I mean, I have no doubt that we're going to see him back. Um, cool, cool, cool. Okay, I mean, I'm sure this rating discussion is going to go on and could go on forever. There are so many angles that you can
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
it from.
it's very interesting, but it's hard to discuss it because everyone will have a slightly different opinion.
Yep. And Ding, for example, I think we're going to have a lot of questions answered in just a couple of weeks when Norway starts.
Okay, so
Because
you remember my prediction, right? It was a year ago.
the
Norway Chess last year.
yes, that's true. No,
I told you he would be the number two in China.
that was during Romania, I think.
No, no, it was during Norway. Like,
Was it during
trust me on
Norway?
it. It was during Norway.
Yes.
So if he loses, I'm not wishing him badly, but if he loses 8 points, then he will. Then my prediction will be accurate.
Well,
But
the
he has to lose
problem
exactly.
is, and why I kind of fought back on that is that Wei was not playing at that point. Wei was nowhere to be seen. Nobody knew where Wei was at that point. He hasn't been playing chess in years at that
My
point.
prediction was not about Wei Yi. I got the detail
Yes,
wrong. I
yes,
thought it was Yu Yang Yi.
yes. That's what I'm saying. Yu Yang is nowhere to be found right now.
Well,
Yu
he's
Yang is
27-14, but yeah,
number
he's not
29.
passing Ding. So, but we just leave out the part of my prediction that was wrong, and just that's how you make an accurate prediction. You leave out the part that was incorrect.
Okay, all right. We'll leave it at that. But yes, definitely very excited about Norway Chess. Very excited to see how that one is going to play out.